Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Uh, gonna have more reviews out pretty soon. Just been trying to adjust to this new period. Just having a job now and getting back to school and all that. Just trying to balance everything out, just to make it less stressful for me. Um, but doing videos also helps a lot as well. Um, so so got another video for today, another topic video. Just because this one I've been noticing a lot, but uh, just some weird ass shit that I was hearing for like the past couple of days. Um, this one's a little bit recent, and then we'll talk about the other one because the other one that kind of was it's still being talked about, but or at least she keeps bringing it up. I don't know why, but we'll get to her in a minute. But um, this other chick, I don't know what her credits are. Nia Long. I don't know what the fuck she's done at all, but she's done. She did an interview where I guess she was like professing like, oh my god, people don't reach out for me for roles and shit like that. I should have been considered for Avatar and everything like that. Just saying some weird shit, and um, and it made me like I've always had this um or I've seen this, sort of thing with actors where it's like they're always believing that they have ownership or they are like owed a certain thing. Um and to those people I say, you're just fucking stupid. If you think that you're owed anything. The only thing that you're owed as an actor is a paycheck. That's the only thing that you're owed. You're owed for the money that you agreed on based on your contract and all that shit. You're just owed paper. That's it. You're not owed anything else. You're not owed exclusivity. You're not owed security. You're not owed this and that. You're just owed a paycheck, and that's it. That's all that matters. Or that's all that you should matter within the business of being a performer. You just worry about just getting your fucking money. Um, I get it. There's the artistic side of things, but this ain't artistic stuff. This is just, bitching and complaining, that she ain't getting roles and she ain't getting what she wants and all that shit. It's like, and who's you? I don't even know who Nia Long is, I don't even know who this is. And I'm pretty sure after a week passes, no one's gonna know who this motherfucker is. So it's like, you know what I mean? So what you complaining about, Um, like, again, it's like this whole conversation that we had like a few, I think it was like a year ago when I did the video. It was like about validation and shit. um I don't know what it is, but people like seeking validation from people that just don't give a shit about you, um and like thinking that if you get bigger that you're gonna get more rewards. That's very naive thinking in my book when people say that sort of shit. I actually had a conversation with someone like a few days ago. We were talking about like the college system and trajectory and future, and um, it's very specific when you're in the college system. It's really caters to a few people, not the majority. And you have to um, really know what majors are going to be more beneficial in the long run than anything else. You have to play the game and know the rules. You can't just be thinking emotionally, because then you're just gonna be disappointed. You gotta think rationally, you know. And with this, it's like, with actors like this, it's not just her. There was another chick recently that I just mentioned. With the when the Oscar nominations came out, I forget her name, but she was the star of Till. I didn't see it. I don't even think a lot of people saw it. I heard it was decent, but I saw a trailer. It was like, all right, it's pretty melodramatic. I'm not gonna go see that. Um, but I guess the star of that, I guess people were saying, oh, she's probably gonna get an Oscar nomination, or whatever, and she didn't get it, and she comes out here saying that the reason why she didn't get an Oscar nomination was because of misogyny. It was because of basically men being assholes and uh, racism and all that. Like she throwing all this shit out there just because she ain't got a fucking nomination for an award show that we've already labeled here on this channel as completely meaningless. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it's narcissistic, like it's just people wanting, like they're just not wanting to just admit to themselves and just also just be more realistic and just stop being so naive and having a thumbs up your ass, like what I'm saying, like it's like if you didn't get it, who gives a fuck, you know what I mean? And like why is it so important for you, and why do you got to be out here like throwing these labels, misogyny, racism, and stuff like that? Because it's not. I mean, she knows. She knows it wasn't racism. She knows it's not misogyny. Like that's been a whole conversation with the Oscars for years. Like these whole Oscars so white movement and all this other bullshit. Um, when we've already addressed the real troubles with the Oscars. It has nothing to do with skin color and all that shit. It has to do a lot with the voting process and who's voting on what and all that sort of shit. Um, but that's a video that I already did. But just staying on topic here about actors. It's like, what do you guys expect when you get into this business? Like, do you guys expect to be treated a certain way? Because that's not how the game works. The game with being an actor is that you get paid, you do it the way that the director wants you to do it. Because when you come out here trying to give your input, you could try to do that. I'm just saying how it is as the business. Independents, they don't really roll like that. Most times they might, but there are those times where it's like, small crew, we can put our voices in a little bit more. Um, but when you're working with like these big corporations and shit, I don't know why actors like um get all like surprised that that their voices are not being heard as much, or they're just like having to be treated like employees. That's because you are employees, man. I mean that's you're being you're being hired on to do a job. I mean that's what you're doing. So I mean, I don't know why you expect to be treated like kings and queens. That's not, again, that's ego. That's narcissism. That's not being just naive. Like that's putting privileges that you haven't even earned those privileges yet, dog. Like you're not even at that point, you know. So when you're out here making all these demands and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, and these are people who are willing to go through the business. I'm not, because I know my research. I've done my research. I've seen what that business is like, and I'm not about that life. Even if I would, like, I'm not saying I would have gotten in, but even if I did get a chance to get in on one of these like big projects or whatever like that, I probably would say no because of just political stuff, more or less. But because they all democratic and shit and all about certain things. But we're not gonna go there in this video. Um, but uh, but it's just like it's so funny to me when I see that when actors, they always like, oh well, you know, uh, like I said that this character needs to be like this, and the director was able to do that for me. I felt very appreciative, felt very respected, or like, like stuff like that. It's like what, like, I don't care if your relationship's tight. Like the ultimately, it's the filmmaker's vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, contribute to the vision if you want to. Excuse me. Contribute to the vision if you want to, if it's beneficial, right? Like ultimately the filmmaker says yes or no, you know what I'm saying? Like ultimately it's their say whether that shit's gonna slide or not, or if it's gonna be put in the film. So um and it's just like when they say no, it's funny when these actors come out and they're just like, oh, I just felt underappreciated. It's like, no, it's just that you're not understanding your place, you know. You were hired on to do a job, to act out the part. Your job was not to be coming out here as like a screenwriter or any other higher position. You're here to just do what these people are telling you to do. You know what I'm saying? So, so don't be bitching and complaining because you don't understand your place. And you don't understand why you are doing the things, why you're doing the things you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're doing this all for a paycheck, okay? Don't be thinking that you're doing this purely from a creative standpoint. There is that part of it where it is a creative endeavor, and depending on the production, it can be, your voice could be heard, but in a lot of cases, that's not how that rolls. You're there to read the lines, read them well, read them the way that the director wants you to read them, get your paycheck, and then move on to the next project. And hopefully, word goes around that you got talent or that you're shit. You know, like that's how that works. If you want to start climbing the ladder, start making that climb. Um, but there's also other things, that you got to do too. You got to be politically correct, and that bullshit with Hollywood and all that. And I'm not all about that. Um, I'm more conservative than anything. These motherfuckers are all, living off that democratic ideology. But point being is that actors should not feel that at any point that they are owed anything. They are hired on to do one specific thing. So when you come out here trying to make demands or, um, like, and again, like I said, with the whole Oscars thing with, I think her name's Danielle, from Till, like throwing just labels, like weird ass things like misogyny, racism. It's like it's clearly not, you know what I mean? And you're out here making these labels. Why? Because you ain't got what you wanted. You know what I mean? Um, like it's weird. It's like if I was in that system, I would know my place. I would know that, hey, I'm just here to just say some lines, get a paycheck, and get out of here. As long as I'm paid fairly, then and being paid fairly, mind you, based on my contributions. If I'm an extra, because I've seen that from extras too, like little small people who contribute this much, like everyone does play a part in the film, obviously, but there is such a thing as favoritism, and there is such a thing as importance and value when it comes to a film set. So if you're an extra, and because I've heard from extras like, oh, we got paid like minimum wage and whatever, it's like, dog, you're replaceable. They can get another person. Man, I've been through the extra system. I was actually a um a second set of extras, because what they do is that they have their main extras, and if any of those extras fall out or they just fuck up, then they call the second set in on for filming. And that actually happened with me on Mank, David Fincher's latest film. I got booked for the second set of extras, um, and um, and the main set of extras were on set filming. So if any of those people fucked up, they would call one of us up to go replace that person. So that never happened, but because they all did their shit, they all followed the rules, they all understood their place. They also probably to an extent understood that, hey, this is just like, I'm making like little money. I mean, I'm not here to make like huge ass dollars like the big stars, the lead stars, and all that stuff, because they are the more important people on the set. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and all they're owed at the end of the day is a paycheck. They're not owed anything else unless they have producing credit, unless they have writer's credit, unless they have anything more beyond what they are contributing as an actor. Like, if they don't have any other credits here or there, and you're just the actor on set, all you're owed is that paycheck. All you're owed is that. That's it. That's it. And for some reason, people nowadays, it seems, feel that they're owed even more, and even though they haven't built a reputation, even though they don't have, even if you did have reputation, like even if you are the shit, right? Like if you don't have the credits, if you don't have if you're not, a producer or writer or anything like that, like you have to understand the business side of it. It's not about your personal agendas, it's about the business. So, you know, like it's just like it's just so funny to me, when people make demands and they don't know what the fuck they're, like they think that they're gonna be. And it's funny because the business sometimes does bend the knee for that shit, and I'm like, no, don't do that shit. Just stick to business, stop catering to these personal agendas and all this bullshit, you know like do what's right for business. Don't be trying to bend the knee for these performers, so because they're just naive, they're blind, they don't understand really what they're getting into. um and then they'll complain years later. It's just like, you should have done, like I said, did that video a long time ago. You should know before you go with this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Know your shit, do your research, and then make a decision at that point based on what you've learned, if you want to move forward or not. And for me, I said no. But for a lot of other people, they just choose to go blind, and then they just, what I mean, are so shocked that, their their employment is all just employment. They think that they're just going to be given all these privileges and, this and that, whatever. It don't work like that. Um, so like, if you're an actor right now, or you're trying to become an actor in the business, just know all you're owed is a paycheck. That's it. You don't have ownership of characters. You don't have, you're not owed or, deserving of any roles or anything like that for the future. If you're in the awards business, like, you're going to be considered or whatever, like, the fuck, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? If that happens, it happens. If it don't, whatever, you move on to whatever's next. Like, don't be so in your own echo chamber and so self-absorbed and so naive. Just roll with it. You know what I mean? It's a job. Okay? A job that you might have fun doing, but don't get carried away. You know what I mean? This is a business, so you got to understand the business first before you feed into your own personal agenda. So you gotta know your shit. You gotta know before you go. Always saying that. Especially to my bro. Gotta know before you go, so that you don't fall into some bullshit or just do something stupid. You know what I mean? Or, in the case of these actors, saying some dumb shit. So gotta know before you go. So that's my thoughts on that. I just found it just really weird. Just like all these actors nowadays, they just feel like they're owed something. It's like, you ain't owed shit. The only thing you're owed is a check, my man. That's it. You're owed a check, a fair, reasonable check. That's all you're owed. And all actors need to be aware of that. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't care who you are. Unless you got more, unless you're putting money in that fucking movie, you don't say nothing, okay? Unless you're a producer or whatever like that. If you don't have any other credits, if you're just the actor, you're just owed a paycheck. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? So stop being so naive and, thinking about just your own shit, Just be happy that you have the job in the first place. Because you're getting to play make-believe and make millions of dollars for it, So, just be grateful. So, but that's my thoughts on that. You guys let me know your thoughts. If any of you guys are in the business, or just, looking to get into the whole Hollywood sphere of things, or just, making the connections, whatever. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about just the mindset of a performer nowadays. And, do you guys agree with me, or do you guys see it differently? Because I don't know what else you're owed. So, but you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. And we should have more reviews out in the future. Hopefully. We'll see how everything goes. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you guys. Keep safe out there. And I'll catch you guys next time.